episode of One by One Year. Today is day 20, and we are going to be reading Genesis chapter 3 and 4. And let's get started. Exodus chapter 3. One day Moses was tending to the flocks of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian. He led the flock far into the wilderness and came to Sinai, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a blazing fire from the middle of a bush. Moses stared in amazement. Though the bush was entangled in flames, it didn't burn up. "This is amazing," Moses said to himself. "Why isn't the bush burning up? I must go see it." When the Lord saw Moses coming to take a closer look, God called to him from the middle of the bush. "Moses, Moses!" "Here I am," Moses replied. "Do not come any closer," the Lord warned. "Take off your sandals, for you are standing on holy ground. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob." When Moses heard his voice, he covered his face because he was afraid to look at God. Then the Lord told him, "I have certainly seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. I have heard their cries of distress because of their harsh slave drivers. Yes, I am aware of their suffering, so I have come down to rescue them from the power of the Egyptians and lead them out of Egypt to their own fertile and spacious land. It is a land flowing with milk and honey, the land where the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites now live. Look, the cry of the people of Israel has reached me, and I have seen how harshly the Egyptians abuse them. Now go, for I am sending you to Pharaoh. You must lead my people Israel out of Egypt." But Moses protested to God, "Who am I to appear before Pharaoh? Who am I to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt?" God answered, "I will be with you, and this is your sign that I am the one who has sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God at this very mountain." But Moses protested, "If I go to the people of Israel and tell them, 'The God of your ancestors has sent me to you,' they will ask me, 'What is his name?' What should I tell them?" God replies to Moses, "I am who I am. Say this to the people of Israel, 'I am has sent me to you.'" God also said to Moses, "Say this to the people of Israel, Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has sent me to you. This is my eternal name, my name to remember for all generations. Now go and call together all the elders of Israel. Tell them, 'The Lord, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob had appeared to me. He told me, I have been watching closely, and I see how the Egyptians are treating you. I have promised to rescue you from your oppression in Egypt. I was led to you to a land flowing with milk and honey, the land where the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites now live. The elders of Israel will accept your message. Then you and the elders must go to the king of Egypt and tell him, 'The Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us. So please let us take a 30-day journey into the wilderness to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God. But I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go unless the mighty hand forces him. So I will raise my hand and strike the Egyptians, performing all kinds of miracles among them. And at last he will let you go. And I will cause the Egyptians to look favorably on you. They will give you gifts when you go so you will not leave empty-handed. Every Israelite woman will ask for articles of silver and gold, and fine clothing for her Egyptian neighbors, and from the foreign women in their houses you will dress your sons and daughters with these, stripping the Egyptians of their wealth. Oh, I'm so excited. I think we're going to go on to the plagues. I don't know why I'm excited for plagues, but I just think it's so awesome. And I'm going to talk about that later on. Chapter 4. But Moses protested again. What if they won't believe me or listen to me? What if they say, the Lord never appeared to you? Then the Lord asked him, what is that in your hand? The shepherd's staff, Moses replied. Throw it down on the ground, the Lord told him. So Moses threw down the staff, and it turned into a snake. Moses jumped back. Then the Lord told him, reach out and grab its tail. So Moses reached out and grabbed its tail, and it turned back into a shepherd's staff in his hand. I gotta flip this page. Oh, come on. Okay. Perform this sign, the Lord told him. Then they will believe that the Lord, the God of their ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob really appear to you. Then the Lord said to Moses, now put your hand inside your cloak. So Moses put his hand inside his cloak. And when he took it out again, his hand was... Oh, wait, so I skipped. So when Moses put his hand inside his cloak, and when he took it out again, his hand was white as snow, with the severe skin disease. Now put your hand back in your cloak, the Lord said. So Moses put his hand back in, and when he took it out again, he was as healthy as the rest of his body. The Lord said to Moses, if they do not believe you, and you are not convinced by the first miraculous sign, they will be convinced by the second sign. And if they don't believe you or listen to you even after the two signs, then take some water from the Nile River and pour it out to the dry ground. When you do, the water from the Nile will turn into blood on the ground. But Moses pleaded with the Lord, "O Lord, I'm not very good with words. I never have been, and I'm not now. Even though you have spoken to me, I get tongue-tied and my words get tangled." Then the Lord asked Moses, "What makes a person's mouth? Who decides whether people speak or do not speak? Hear or do not hear? See or do not see? It is not I, the Lord. Now go. I will be with you as you speak, and I will instruct you in what to say." But Moses again pleaded, "Lord, please send anyone else." Then the Lord became angry with Moses. "All right," he said. "What about your brother, Aaron, and the Levite? I know he speaks well, and look, he is on his way to meet you now. He will be delighted to see you. Talk to him and put the words in his mouth. I will be with both of you as you speak, and I will instruct you both in what to do. Aaron will be your spokesman to the people. He will be your mouthpiece, and you will stand in the place of God for him, telling him what to say. And take your shepherd's staff with you, and use it to perform the miraculous signs I have shown you." So Moses went back home to Jethro, his father-in-law. "Please let me return to my relatives in Egypt," Moses said. I don't even know if they are still alive." "Go in peace," Jethro replied. But before Moses left Midian, the Lord said to him, "Return to Egypt with all those who wanted to kill. Return to Egypt, for all those who wanted to kill you have died." So Moses took his wife and sons, but put them on a donkey and headed back for the land of Egypt. In his hand he carried the staff of God. And the Lord told Moses, "When you arrive in Egypt, go to Pharaoh and perform all the miracles I have empowered you to do. But it will harden his heart, and so he will refuse to let the people go. Then you will tell him that this is what the Lord says: Israel is my firstborn son. I commanded you, let my son go so he can worship me. But since you have refused, I will now kill your firstborn son." On the way to Egypt, at a place where Moses and his family had stopped for the night, the Lord confronted him and was about to kill him. But Moses' wife Zipporah took a flint knife and circumcised her son. She touched his feet with the foreskin and said, "Now you are a brig, bridegroom to blood, of blood to me." A bridge room? I don't know. When she said a bridge room of blood, she was referring to the circumcision. After that, the Lord left him alone. Now the Lord said to Aaron, "Go out into the wilderness to meet Moses. Go." So Aaron went to meet Moses in the mountain of God, and he embraced him. Moses then told Aaron everything the Lord had commanded him to say, and he told him about the miraculous signs the Lord had commanded him to perform. Then Moses and Aaron returned to Egypt and called all the elders of Israel together. Aaron told them everything the Lord had told Moses, and Moses performed the miraculous signs as they watched. Then the people of Israel were convinced that the Lord had sent Moses and Aaron. When they heard that the Lord was concerned about them and had seen their misery, they bowed down and worshipped. That's pretty much it. That's only 11 minutes actually, guys, and it's less than half a page. I'm gonna read chapter 5. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I'm still thinking about it. Anyways, I'm going to read chapter 5 anyways. Chapter 5. After the presentation of Israel's leaders, Moses and Aaron went to and spoke to Pharaoh. They told him, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Let my people go so they may hold a festival in my honor in the wilderness." "Is that so?" retorted Pharaoh. "And who is the Lord? Why should I listen to him and let Israel go? I don't know the Lord, and I will not let Israel go." But Aaron and Moses persisted. "Then God of the Hebrews has met with us. Oh, the God of the Hebrews has met with us," they declared. "So let us take a 30-day journey into the wilderness so we can offer sacrifices to the Lord our God. If we don't, he will kill us with a plague or with the sword." Pharaoh replied, "Moses and Aaron, why are you distracting the people from their tasks? Get back to work. Look, there are many of your people in the land, and you are stopping them from their work." The same day Pharaoh sent this order to the Egyptian slave drivers, to the Israelite and the Israelite foremen: "Do not supply any more straw for making bricks. Make the people get it themselves, but still require them to make the same number of bricks as before. Don't reduce the quota. They are lazy. That's why they are crying out, 'Let us go and offer sacrifices to our God.' Load them down with more work. Make them sweat. That will teach them to listen to lies." So the slave drivers and foremen went out and told the people, "This is what Pharaoh says: I will not provide any more straw for you. Go and get it yourselves. Find it wherever you can, but you must produce just as many bricks as before." So the people scattered throughout the land of Egypt in search of stubble to use as straw. Meanwhile, the Egyptian slave drivers continued to push hard. "Meet your daily quota of bricks, just as you did when we provided you with straw," they demanded. Then they whipped the Israelite foreman they had put in charge of the work crews. "Why haven't you met your quota either yesterday or today?" they demanded. So the Israelite foreman went to Pharaoh and pleaded with him. "Please don't treat your servants like this," they begged. "We are given no straw, but the slave drivers still demand to make bricks. We are being beaten, but it isn't our fault. Your own people are the blame." But Pharaoh shouted, "You're just lazy. That's why you're saying, 'Let us go to offer sacrifices to the Lord.' Now get back to work. No straw will be given to you, but you must still produce the full quota of bricks." So the Israelite foremen could see that they were in serious trouble when they were told, "You must not reduce the number of bricks you make each day." As they left Pharaoh's court, they confronted Moses and Aaron, who were waiting outside for them. The foreman said to them, "May the Lord judge and punish you for making us stink before Pharaoh. Stink, S-T-I-N-K. Before Pharaoh and his officials. You have put a sword into their hands an excuse to kill us. Then Moses went back to the Lord and protested. Why have you brought all this trouble to your own people, Lord? Why do you send me? Ever since I came to Pharaoh as your spokesman, he has been even more brutal to your people, and you have done nothing to rescue them. That's it for chapters 3 through 5. We read 3 chapters, and still only 15 minutes. Now I'm gonna kind of talk about that. What I wanted to talk about that was, I was never told, okay, so kind of referring back to the movies that I've watched, like I said, they, emphasize on, Moses having a brother and stuff, and seeing his, and they just emphasize a lot of false stuff, kind of, or maybe it's not false, but it's just a little bit more emphasis. And of course, movie directors need to make movies and they have to be good. But what I didn't know from any movie or story that I was told about Moses and escaping everyone from Egypt is that the Egyptians were so brutal. Like he says, ever since I came to Pharaoh as your spokesman, he has been even more brutal to your people, and you have done nothing to rescue them. So I always thought, or I was taught at least, that, Moses was, I guess, so Moses spoke, and then he worked, and then he spoke again with all the plagues, and then after the firstborn was killed, plague, after that, then they actually let them leave. But this one, it's a lot more brutal, and it's kind of sad to me that it's just so horrible, the life of them living. And again, I don't even know why they just try to escape in the night or something like that. Like, I'm sure there's guards, but if they multiply, or there's more of the Israelites than there is Egyptians, why would they not leave? I don't know. It's kind of mind-blowing to me. I don't know why. It might not be mind-blowing to you, but I don't know. That's pretty much all that I had to touch on today. Oh, also, I actually wanted to touch on, and I think it's chapter 3, when Moses is talking to God, he's so resilient in saying, why me? Why? I'm not good with words. I get confused. I get tongue-tied. Nobody's gonna believe me, because he killed a guy, and it's just he doesn't want to be picked. And I don't know, for me, I would be like, okay, that's awesome, But maybe for him, because he had that kind of, I guess, bounty on his head for killing the Egyptian, it just makes him worse, or makes him not want to do it. But I don't know, that's another mind blower to me. What I did like, and I noticed while I was reading this, on verse 14, chapter 3, God replies to Moses, I am who I am. And that is capitalized on all of it, or all the first letters. So it's capital I, capital A, M, capital W, and then H-O, and then capital I, and then capital A, and then lowercase m. So it's cool because, every word is capital, kind of like how I try to make all the capitals on the first letter in all of my words, like thanks for watching, comment, like, subscribe, and stuff. Oh, but that's kind of what I noticed. Anyways, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow, guys. Bye bye. And seek you.